I'm really tan. People are obsessed with my tan. Every day somebody asks me about my tan. The other day I was in a Starbucks and this woman was kind of staring at me from across the room uncomfortably for a really long time. And I finally gave her that look like, what the fuck are you looking at? And she came up to me while I was in line paying and she goes, I'm so sorry, it's just your tan. It's so good. Where did you get it from? And I was like, oh, this is just DNA. And she thinks about it for a second. She goes, DNA? Is that the new spray-on from L'Oreal? That's a spray-on, right? I'm like, no, this is my skin color. My mother is Dominican, Sicilian, and black. What? No color in here? Cool. However, my father is Norwegian, so that just makes me a tan white bitch. It's funny, whenever race is brought up and I'll insert in there that my mom is blackish, people will be like, oh my God, you're mixed? You? What was it like for you? What was it like growing up mixed? And I'm like, what was it like? Look at me. It was easy. I didn't struggle. I've never even paid for mechanical work. I don't know. I'm cute. Life was great. People are like, what kind of nationality are you? What's your background? I'm like, mostly shiny. That's my nationality. Just confusingly shiny all the time. Anyone go home for Christmas? Yes. Funnest time ever, right? I was just home for Christmas. My grandma's my best friend. You laugh. This lady laughs. I'm like, no, that's supposed to be an aw. Let me teach you how to respond to things, ma'am. My grandma's my best friend. She recently became a widow, and so she's been requesting to come on the road with me, no joke. My family lives in Wisconsin, and I play a lot in the Chicagoland area, so every time I've flown into Chicago and had to play there recently, I've had to take my grandma with me on tour. My grandma will be like, I want to be your roadie. I'm like, Grandma, I don't think you know what a roadie is. Please don't try to offer me sexual favors. But the last time I was headlining in Chicago, I took my grandma with me, and she stayed with me in my hotel for 5 days. Stayed out with me every night with the other comics till 2 in the morning. You know how awkward it is to be walking back from your hotel drunk, leaning on your grandma, acting like you're doing her a favor the whole time? You're like, Grandma, you okay? Oh, my God, thank God I have a crutch. You drink your milk, bitch? But while I was staying with her in Chicago, I had to do a podcast in the hotel room, and grandparents don't understand podcasts. It's just the radio or not the radio, right? So I was like, Grandma, I gotta do some radio time in the hotel room. Just sit in the corner, they're not even gonna know you're in there. And she's like, okay, I got this. She sits in the corner like this, puts herself on timeout, and watches me over her shoulder the whole time. At the end of the there you guys all at that? Cool. Cues. At the end of the podcast, the people were like, all right, Natasha, we just want to know what it's like being a comic in LA. What is it like trying to make it as a woman? And I was like, basically we're all just trying to not die. And my grandma screams from the corner of the room, I'm trying to die! I'm ready! So grandma's banned from podcasts. I'm gonna read you something from my grandma. After we left that trip, I was like, Grandma, you have to find some widows that are your own age, some friends that are your own age in Wisconsin. I can't be your only friend. I signed her up for this widows club, and she hated it. She hated every minute of it, and all she did was send me this piece of mail that was 6 questions from the widows club, and she was like, this will explain why I hated the widows club. These are the 6 questions that my grandma answered from the widows club. Number 1, what in life haven't you done yet that you most desire to do? Die. What's your biggest regret in life? Not being dead yet. What is it you look forward to the most? The end of life. What's your most challenging obstacle in life? Waking up. When you wake up in the morning, what's your first thought? Oh shit, not again. Finally, what's number 1 on your bucket list? Any guesses? Yeah, you would think it'd be die. See Italy. Really, bitch? The only thing that makes you happy is fucking Italy? The most expensive place. I'm a comic. You know how long it takes you to save up for Italy? So for Christmas, I surprised my grandma with a trip to Italy. Okay, that's where people usually clap. You guys are so off. I surprised her with a trip, and the whole time I'm saving up for the trip, I'm thinking, God, she better not die while I'm saving. She better not die when I surprise her with the trip. We better not get all the way to Italy and then she dies. That would just be, like, what do you even do with an old person in Italy? Too dark for you guys? Cool. I'm recently engaged. Yay! Good response. All right, we're learning. I'm recently engaged a year and a half ago, guys. I've been engaged for a year and a half. We've pushed the wedding twice. It's going great. It's going really well. It's interesting when you're, a headstrong, boss-ass bitch who doesn't think you need a man, because the second I got the ring on my finger, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a wife. And about a month later, I looked at the same ring and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a wife. And I immediately started looking for a reason to not marry this guy. I snooped for the first time in my life after getting engaged, and I found something. On his computer, there was this folder labeled PRNRM in all caps, PRNRM. And I stared at it for a bit, and I was like, oh, it's porn room. It's porn room without the O's, because men are so good at disguising shit. So I click on the folder, I started watching all the episodes or whatever it is you call porn, I don't know. It was something called X-Art. Anybody in here heard of X-Art? Yes, somebody has? That's always the reaction from the back of the room. Oh, yeah. X-Art is beautiful relationship porn. Do you know this existed? Beautiful relationship porn. The first episode I watched was this couple making love on the beach, and they were like caressing each other. It was really sensual, and there was sheer flapping in the wind, and there were rose petals on the ground. There were candles lit. I watched this, and I was thoroughly disgusted. It was the first time I ever watched porn and thought, oh my God, I'm the problem. Have I been too rough with this guy all these years? All he wanted was some love? He's masturbating to affection. Oh, I'm gonna be a terrible wife. All right, thanks guys, I'm Natasha Hansen.